What's going on, you guys? So I've been asked several times if I plan on driving Pro 2, and it is a pretty complex answer to that. So yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and answer that in this video. Well, for starters, you're probably going to notice that I'm not in my garage. I'm actually in my house. So I actually I have a house that I live in, and I don't just live out of my garage. So yeah, that's something you might not have known about me. Anyways, to answer the question about driving Pro 2, it's a lot more complex than that. First of all, you got to get a license. I've driven Pro-Am for 6 years, and I've always battled with the issue of having a car to reliably hold together to run a full season of Pro-Am. So I've never been able to get my license doing it that way. And even running Pro-Am gets expensive. So, tire costs, fuel costs, travel costs. I don't have a truck, I don't have a trailer. All the years I've been driving Pro-Am, I've always been borrowing trucks and trailers from shops I've worked at, or when I was with Tuner Tools driving for them, when they were based out of Ohio, I've just kept my car at their shop in Ohio, and Brian from Tuner Tools would actually do the transportation aspect of the vehicle for me, so it made that aspect a lot easier on me, and it was way easier for me to do. Coming into it now, I gotta man up and buy my own truck and trailers, so I'm trying to save up to do that. That way I can run all the events I want to run. Now, would I like to drive Pro 2? Yeah, it's something that, I could see myself doing. I'd really like to do it. The obvious issues is you have to get a license to do it. So I'd have to be able to run a series or go run the shootout events to earn my license, because I don't want to just try to petition my way into it, because if you can't earn your license legitimately, you're probably not ready to go into Pro 2 anyways. So you're just going to be wasting a ton of resources, money, all that. And honestly, at the point I'm at right now, I don't have the finances to even run Pro 2 if I wanted to. Now, is it something I would like to do? Like I said, yes, I would love to do it. I have a lot of friends that are in Pro 2, Pro 1, and it would just be awesome to go drive with those guys again. But for next year, I'm probably gonna hit some of the shootout events, maybe run a Pro-Am series, try and earn my license. But I really want to focus more on the fun events, like the Grid Life events or LS Fest. I'd really love to make it out to the West Coast and do some events out there. I just really want to start driving again, get back behind the seat, just have fun again. That's really what I want to do next year, is focus on that. And if I earn my license on the way, make some new partners, build a better program, and I can afford to drive Pro 2 the following year. Is it something I'd like to do? Yeah, I would. Now, I had a lot of struggles in Pro-Am and years past with my GTO and the RX-7, and usually it was just having a reliable car to hold itself together. I honestly think that in my last year that I drove Pro-Am in 2017, if I wouldn't have totaled my GTO, I honestly think I would have had a really good shot at getting my Pro 2 license that year, because that car was just on point on that first event and it never ran better. Unfortunately, during tandem competition, I did get hit in one of my rear wheels, and then in the next run that I actually got to go out and do, the alignment was all messed up in the back. It didn't grip up like I thought it was going to, and it went off track and just got wadded up into the wall. But you know what? That's part of the game. You gotta take your licks when you get them. And then we built that FCRX7 Turbo LS FCRX7. Me and Brian threw that car together in like 5 days so we can make an event. And it kind of worked. It wasn't the greatest. It had some weird rear suspension issues. It had like no side grip in it, and I just couldn't get that car figured out, especially going from, in that series, I went from driving one of the biggest cars in the series down to one of the smallest. So, I mean, that's a huge change, especially the seating position you're in. So I went from, driving basically in the middle to the front of the car to basically sitting on the rear wheels inside of a car, and even the way the vehicle transitions and you feel things differently, and it was a lot to get used to, and I just couldn't pick it up in time. So, a lot of that is on me and my inability to adapt to it quick enough to be competitive. But I also drove basically a boat for the 6 years previous to that. Now the Mustang it's a good car. I mean, from the shakedown day that I did, I mean, the thing just felt absolutely great. Handles great, it's snappy, it's got good transition speeds, it's got tons of grip in it, it's fast, it's got the power to just, I could be crawling in third gear and it'll just blow the tires off it if I wanted to. So the brakes are perfect on it. All the master cylinder sizing that I did on that turned out great. I mean, that thing would be a solid competitive car to go to Pro 2 with. The only changes I would really need to make on it, I would definitely want to put a dog box transmission in it. I would need to change the fuel cell over to pass tech for Formula Drift, and I would need to put a fire suppression system in it. And other than that, everything on that car is pretty much up to spec and could go right into Pro 2. Now, it does still have a 488 in it, but honestly, I don't want to spend the money on a winner's quick change. They rob tons of horsepower, they're super heavy, and they're insanely expensive. If I just get a upgraded set of half shafts and pick up maybe like 2 or 3 spare 488s, I could just build 3 or 4 488s with different gear ratios, and I can swap out the diff in that car in like 15 minutes if I need to do a gear change. Now, yeah, I'm obviously not going to have the same gearing options as with a quick change where, you know, you can have 10-15 different gear sets sitting there that you just slap in real quick. I'd only be limited to like 4, but with a decently long gearing and, you know, enough horsepower, you can just run it in high gear usually, honestly. Just like even that parking lot event, I was just throwing it in third and just keeping it in third gear. One time I went out there, I threw it in fourth gear even, and the thing had the power to do it in fourth gear. So it's all about adapting and learning to drive it, and I think it would honestly be a very, very competitive car in Pro-Am, and would probably hold its own pretty well in Pro 2 as well. So would I like to do Pro 2? I really would. I'd love to get back out on the track with all my friends that have progressed and made it that far, and I just hope that I can build the program to get myself there the right way. As for the rest of the year, I do have one more event coming up this year. I will be driving out at Speed Ring doing drift demo, so that's at M1 Concourse in Pontiac, Michigan, so I'll be out there to do that, and that should be a lot of fun. I just ordered 12 more tires up. Those old orange wheels that I had on the Mustang when I was building it, I painted those gold this weekend to match because I was running out of wheels. I have 4 on the car, and then I had 8 more of those plus the 4 orange ones, so I painted the 4 orange ones. Now I'll have enough wheels to mount all my tires and hopefully be able to get through the whole weekend on them. This time I ordered the 300 treadwear tires instead of the 180s that I had on it before, so hopefully they'll last a little bit longer. The grip level is going to be a little bit lower, smoke output's going to be a little bit lower, but overall it should be a good tire for the event, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. I'll be sure to get some video of that as well. I'm also looking at picking up a couple more GoPros to put on the car for doing events and stuff like that. That way I can get more video angles and coverage, and, you know, just try and make better content for you guys, and doing what I can with what I got for now. So that's gonna be it for this one though. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the builds along. You guys got any questions for me, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer anything you guys got, just throw them at me. And until the next one, I'll catch you guys later.